Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another beautiful calyxiform that is known as Fockea edulis. Previously, I have made a video about this plant, video number 78, that you see the number on the top of my screen. This plant is a member of the family of the Apocynaceae. It is belong to certain part of South Africa and Namibia, North Cape and Western Cape. The reason I'm making this video now to show you how to transplant it after many years that is growing. These are not young plant. It is very old, and now is about time to transplant them and make a beautiful bonsai out of them. But you have to remember that Fockea edulis is a plant that if the calyx is above the soil, the rate of growing is very, very, very slow. But if the calyx inside of the soil in the ground, there is a chance of growing faster and also bigger. But it is a very beautiful shaped plant. The surface of the body of the plant has certain bumps, as you see, and is among the complex calyxiform. As you see, there is many branches coming out and form a very beautiful calyx. This is the future of another large piece that is gonna hit this area of the pot. But today I'm going to repot them into this pot. So I have two pots for there, which is candidate, each one for one of those three. This plant has very nice, small, greenish, yellowish color flower, and the top of the plant grows vine. But you have to remember that always you have to trim it to give it a very strong branches. As you see, that they are not falling anymore and they are pretty firm, so it's uprising. But when they are not trimmed and it keeps growing, then this is what you're going to see out of them. And there is a chance that they wrap around any plant that is in the neighborhood of this Fockea. Now, during this video, as we proceed, I'll give you the information as it's needed to show you how we transplant them, and the soil we use has to be very, very good and high drainage. That means good amount of perlite and peat moss are mixed, and also you add a little bit of the fertilizer, which is known as 14-14-14. And also another thing that is important, that when you are going to plant it, you have to do a very good foundation, that the soil does not keep the water and the water go through the soil and drain out. This plant loves to get regularly good water during the summer, but when it comes to winter, you have to slow down and try to keep it as dry as possible. They are extremely very hardy and they can handle heat, and also they can be either indoor or outside. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make one that can be going inside and sit on the coffee table or entry with a good shape. Now, how we choose one of these three for this one? This is pretty much symmetrical piece, and round. So it is good for this pot, but this one is more kind of shape that you can give them a little angle, and when it's on the shallow pot, the shape of this pot is rectangular, and it can be matched with this plant very much. So what I'm going to do a little trimming first, get these branches out, and then transplant it. As you see, these are the two branches that I'm going to trim. This is one, and this one is another one. Now, as you noticed, the branches on the top of this plant, they don't look like vine anymore. But if you let it grow like this, becomes vine again. As you see, some of the branches are growing and they are planning to become viney again. So I try to trim them. And make them shape like a nice bush on the top. See? These are the way you do it. Now they are pretty much harmonized on the top, and they are ready to be transplanted. Now, for transplanting this one, the first thing we do, we create a nice foundation for the pot that the soil become well drained. Now, I use a metal mesh for the bottom of the pot to cover the holes, and I give it about half an inch of pumice. These are very, very strong pumice, so it doesn't get soft. It will stay firm and make the soil to release the water out of the pot immediately. Now, the second thing I do, I will put the soil into the pot to cover the bottom. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this aside and get this out of the plastic container. Generally, this is the method of doing it. This is very, very old. It's coming out. See? Look at the similarity of the soil after approximately even 10 years. They are similar because I mixed it then and I mixed it now too. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this root cleaned up. See? Look at the soil. It's still very good quality. If you remember on other videos, what we did, we cleaned up the soil and then we used the fungicides, which is sulfur, to make sure that the root is very healthy and no any problem with the root. And then the next thing we do, we use a little bit root hormone and get this portion of the root cleaned up. See? This area. We don't need this. We need to have some kind of the short roots because we want the plant to start fresh root into the new pot, and this is anti-fungus stuff that we use to make sure that the soil is in a good healthy position. And then on the top of that we do a little bit of the root hormone, as you saw on my other videos, to make sure that this plant start growing new root. Now, at this time, I'm trying to figure out the best position, or maybe the better position for this plant to stay and look like a bonsai. Now, this is one way we can go. This is another way we can go, which is very interesting, and this is another way. So, as soon as I figure it out, I'm gonna show you which way I am going. I decided to put it a little bit tilting towards the left and give them a little bit more artistic presentation. And I have a piece of rock here that supporting the plant, but that doesn't mean that this need to be there all the time. Even at this time, if I want to remove this, I can remove it, but generally I always need a piece of natural rock with my exotic pieces of plants to give them a better looking. Now, as you see, I'm trying to fill up the soil, and when I finish with the soil, the stability of this plant is 100% guaranteed, and it doesn't even need this rock. But since it is just nice to incorporate a piece of rock with your nice succulent, it is always gives it a better looking. And from this angle, this is the way it looks. And I'm gonna just use soil for this kind of things. I need this tool, back of the tool, to press the soil in. And this piece I'm gonna take out, but it will become more every time you cut a piece of surface of these branches of the plant, make sure you put some antifungus that doesn't create any damage to the plant after cutting it. Now this side of it also you secure. Always try to make your plant presentation as exotic and artistic as possible, because this is the key of the winning when you go to contest to present your plants. Now as you see, this is very nice looking. Now I'm going to clean up here and show it to you. Now I finished with the soil and I sprayed all over the body of the plant and surface of the soil, a little bit of spray of water, and now I'm using some nice gravel to give it a nice texture. It is not required to do that, but I always use it for the beauty of the plant. And after I finish this, I'll show you the finishing portion of this repotting. Now as you see, I put the finishing part, which is the gravel, on the top, and I sprayed it. Now it looks much prettier than when it was in a container, plastic container. So it has a little angle, but not much. But you have to always cut these branches to make these branches of the vine to become more thicker, that doesn't fall apart or fall all over the plant or wrap around the other plants. So this is a finished product. Now, as you see, this is the second plant that I finished it. Here you see there is a line and it's two different color. So I pulled out approximately 2 inches of the codex out of the soil, technically because the pot is very small and I want this plant to stay compact and stay with a nice shape, don't lose the shape. So remember that Fockea edulis or any other codexy plant that the codex grows inside of the soil, if you pull them out, then you're reducing the growth of the codex. So in another word, is become very slow growing and it stays about the same shape as you see. This is the first one, this is the second one, and I hope you like them. So as you see, these are the two finishing products, and they are very nice looking and very lavishing looking. At this time I'm gonna conclude my video and wrap up. Please like the video if you enjoyed this episode. Leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and share my channel with your friends and relatives. I hope this information was beneficial to you. Thank you very much for watching my channel, and until next video, goodbye.